Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Today I want to get into a clip that had shown what was believed to be V very angry, and then also some terrible leaked photos of V in bed, and the Korean government issued something that might cause a BTS ban. So hater or not, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on, grab your dumplings, hey spilling mug merch, and let's get into it. The first thing that I want to get into is very serious, and if you are in America and you want to see BTS on your computer screen, please listen up. Right now, Korea is going through a bit of a new law change that could result in banning BTS or K-pop content from your screens. And currently, this is very likely. There is this new law that they are trying to implement called network usage fee. This is a branch of what America was going to do at a certain point and a branch of net neutrality. Net neutrality is more of an umbrella term for what is going on. And net neutrality is basically this law that allows anyone to have access to the internet without an extreme amount of money. It makes it possible for everyone in the world, regardless of financial situation, to afford this access to the internet. And you have this unlimited access for this $50 a month internet fee that you pay or whatever it is. South Korea is enacting this network usage fee, and to put it in the easiest terms to understand, anyone from Korea that is viewing content from America, the content that is coming from America, the person who uploads that content or the hosting site that is holding the content will be charged a fee. So for example, if you're in Korea watching my videos, I will be charged $1 for that view, and the same goes if you're American watching a Korean video. You have to pay for that international access to this content. Of course, for creators and anyone who makes music videos, film, or whatever, will now have a concern to make sure that their content actually doesn't reach internationally, because they may not be able to afford to pay that fee. So if a video goes viral in Korea and gets 1 million views, the creator has to pay $1 million going by that $1 example. Now, what does this have to do with BTS and K-pop exactly? Well, likely what will happen is the charges may not go directly to the creator, but the hosting site will likely just pay it because they want to reach Korea and these international audiences. However, if you look at songs like Baby Shark, it has 10 billion views. At least 1 billion of those views can be from Korea, and YouTube now has to then pay $1 billion to that audience. And they didn't even make that much from Baby Shark with 10 billion views. So they would either pay it or they would go bankrupt, or they would block the views from Korea. Same goes with any content that is uploaded from Korea. Likely YouTube will just block because they can't afford to pay. And if they can afford to pay this fee, it will likely cut off somewhere. So the more successful these K-pop idols get, YouTube will then just block their content because they're getting too many views and YouTube can't afford to pay that. Anyone who starts to get successful will be punished for it. And this is not just your favorite Korean vlogger video being in danger. Like, not only will BTS lose a huge chunk of their audience, the economy will obviously suffer. If you imagine if this was a law when BTS started, this whole BTS winning South Korea's pride and awards, none of that would have even been possible, as YouTube and American companies simply just wouldn't host the Korean videos on the platform because they can't pay per view. People have been talking about the likelihood of this law being enacted, and it's actually possible. Right now, for some stupid reason, it has majority vote. However, if you are in Korea, please contact your local politician and make sure your voice is heard. Say that you don't support this because this will change everything. And I don't think South Korea even realizes how negatively this will impact their own economy. South Korea will then become isolated as no one will be able to go on their network. Tourism will slow down as no one's going to receive their content, and no one in Korea is going to be receiving non-Korean content. They're going to have no idea what is going on in America or anything. And there's a lot to be angry about lately, as it seems like the government always makes some of the dumbest decisions. How on earth is limiting the internet going to drive more economic advances? It's just ridiculous. So many people will also be out of a job too, as jobs nowadays, pretty much any of them, rely on international communication and the internet being free and open. The internet is almost a human right now, and after this law, Korea would only be accessible by not even the richest people. However, maybe in some cases this is better, right? As less Sasaeng fan content will neither be going to Korea or coming out of Korea. There has been a recent influx of V and Jennie photos coming out online, and a lot of people have been doing a reverse image search on every photo that has come out of Gurum Haribo, and they have discovered that a lot of the content has been taken from other sources, and even someone who allegedly looked like V and is a professional V cosplayer. And it's likely that these photos are not of V and they just have been touched and re-edited. Recently, there was a photo of V in bed snuggling up with a cat. It was believed that this cat was Jennie's cat. However, less people are using this as proof, as it's more difficult to tell two cats of the same breed apart. They obviously look the same, so people were saying that it's very possible V just met another cat of the same breed as Jenny's. However, what became less disputable was the fact that it appeared that V was laying in Jenny's bed, as the pillows that V was laying on was showcased in a previous vlog that Jenny had posted on her channel. This is why K-pop idols don't like to vlog, because everything is used against them. Even if all of this was true, I'm going to go ahead and pretend I am blind. I'm going to pretend to not know even what a bed is. I have no real comment on these photos, as it's very easy to Photoshop them by the pillow and then add it into the photo in whatever angle you want. We also don't have a video of them together. What couple doesn't take videos together, especially if these photos are showing that they take a lot of photos together? Why not video? I also don't understand, if you're a secret couple that can't show the world they're dating because that's K-pop, what are you taking all these photos for? I've dated people for months and never taken a photo together, especially in the beginning stages where you don't even know if it'll last. And then who exactly are these photos going to be sent to? You can't post them, and if you send it to people then it gets leaked. Then taking this many photos together tells me it's photoshopped. Give me undeniable paparazzi video footage of them kissing and then I'll believe you. V is under a lot of backlash, and I think it's just because there are so many eyeballs on him right now. He is literally on every K-media headline in the last few months, and there's a lot of people defending him. I don't think that is something he'd be upset about. Celebrities aren't upset when people are talking about them. It just depends on what they're saying. Is it mean things, or is it things coming to defend the celebrity? As you get more popular as a celebrity, you will get more hate. People are always wondering if he reads it and if it puts him in a bad mood, because it's hard to wake up in the morning and see people arguing about you and what you've been speculated that you've done. And I'm sure if he was dating Jenny, and I say if, he wouldn't exactly be happy seeing all the death threats on her page. Big Hit or HYBE recently released their new show called And Audition. This is a similar show to Island, where it's a competition between trainees, and BTS makes an appearance in Island. It's a lot of fun, and we get to watch these trainees turn into idols. I do react to this on my Patreon, so if you want to join me in the ups and downs of that and cry with me, then I will link my Patreon below. But And Audition is a new one, and it's very popular. BTS made an appearance in one of the episodes, and it appeared they were reading from a teleprompter. All the members appeared semi-tired, but they kept up their energy as much as they could. However, even with that, it seemed like V was the one that was targeted to say that he had a bad attitude. Netizens on forums screen grabbed moments where V was not smiling and he just had a normal resting face. They went to say that V had a terrible attitude and maybe he's being rude because he wants to go and see Jenny and doesn't want to be there. That V wanted to quit or leave. However, the netizen is absolutely sick in the head. Like, how could you do this to another human being? Because they wrote in the forum that they didn't just screen grab something out of context, that this was V's face the whole time. This is what they said. However, if you go through the video, V has moments where he is smiling. They're reading from teleprompters. It's pretty obvious. And that's pretty hard to do. They're also standing like 10 feet away from the camera so everyone fits. So it can be harder to read it. And the thing about the netizen and the forum post is that people will just believe that the netizen did the research and V was actually being rude the whole time. So many people left comments after clearly not watching the original clip, and of course others just believed that it was a leaked clip, so to speak, of V being upset over the Jenny situation. Absolutely ridiculous claims, but what do you think? Do you think it was him actually being upset or being rude or wanted to quit and leave to meet Jenny? Annoying claims, honestly. What do you think of V in bed claims? And of course, how do you feel about the new potential Korean law? Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out my Patreon for more videos, link down below. Thank you, just love a comment right here. Love you. Bye.